I had a question recently about electric motorcycles and when would I be buying one, or something to that effect. And so I thought today I'd make that the topic of today's video, electric motorcycles. So for those of you who don't know, my wife and I have been driving electric cars since about 2013. Our first electric vehicle was the Nissan Leaf we bought back then, and in 2014 we bought the Outlander plug-in hybrid, and in 2020 we traded that in on the Kona EV. And so we've been driving electric vehicles since 2013 and am a huge fan. In fact, I'll never buy a petrol engine car again. There's no need for us. Electric cars are superior power-wise, superior torque-wise, very cheap to run and maintain, and just a better all-round vehicle. So now what about electric motorcycles? Where are we in their development, and how attractive are they to me? Well, the problem with electric motorcycles that we have at the moment is really range. They just don't have the range that I need in a motorcycle. Where our Kona EV will do 450 kilometres on the highway on a single charge, I think if you look at the Harley-Davidson Livewire, it'll do about 160 k's or about 100 miles on a charge on the highway, and for me that's just not enough. And the real problem is not the EV technology, the problem is battery technology. So you just can't get a big enough battery into a bike the size of a Livewire to give you good range. So what's going to need to happen is batteries really are going to need to both shrink in size and weight before an average bike like this NC750X, for instance, will be able to travel the sort of range that I need. So to get that 450 kilometres of range out of a Livewire, you'd really need a battery pack 3 times the size. And that size and weight's just not feasible on a bike like the Livewire. What they should have done is what Tesla did when they made their first electric vehicle. Now, I'm not talking about their Sportster, whatever it was called, I can't remember what it was called. Was it called the Sportster? The very first one, where they just took the Lotus and re-engineered it to be electric. I'm talking about the Model S. So what Tesla realised is that they were going to need a big, heavy, expensive vehicle to make the car a feasible reality. And what Harley should have done, they should have taken their biggest, heaviest, most expensive motorcycle and made it electric. And their largest, most expensive motorcycle is the Tri-Glide Ultra. So I think they should have electrified the Tri-Glide Ultra first, because the Tri-Glide Ultra is already big, already heavy, and already expensive, and you've got plenty of room to put a good sized battery in there. So where the engine is currently in the frame on the Tri-Glide Ultra, that would be moved to between the axles. The electric motor would be situated, and gearbox would be situated between the rear axles, leaving you heaps of space for batteries. And the controllers could go up and where the tank is now, and I could see you getting a good 300 kilometres of range out of a Tri-Glide Ultra with a battery pack. So that's where I reckon Harley should have started. Their cruiser, their baggers really are the bikes where they should have started, the biggest, heaviest bikes I've got, and started electrifying those. But the Tri-Glide Ultra is where the current battery tech would fit best, I think. It's a pretty windy day today, so I hope it's not interfering with the audio too much. So the other thing with electric motors is, you know, they're known for their torque, and for me, electric motorcycles are an appealing proposition because that's what I like. I like riding bikes that are torquey, take little effort to get going, and I find them most fun to ride, especially, you know, when you're restricted to the legal speeds of 60 kilometres an hour around town and 100 k's or 110 out on the highway. You know, I just don't need horsepower, and I'm looking forward to having an electric cruiser. Would be ideal for me, just something that I could cruise around on, do some longer trips on, and I suppose a bagger or more of a touring bike would be ideal. But I think realistically we need battery tech to evolve before that's going to be a possibility and a reality. And I really think that the manufacturers are holding off, well, the motorcycle manufacturers are holding off and waiting for the battery technology to mature. And I think we're looking at 5 years before that's going to be anywhere near a reality, to have a bike this size, electric, with a good 320 kilometres of highway range. I reckon we're 5 years away. So to answer the question of when would I buy an electric motorcycle, or would I buy an electric motorcycle? Well, first, yes, I would definitely buy an electric motorcycle. I'm looking forward to that day. And I think, you know, we're realistically 5 years away before that's going to happen. And until then, I'm very happy to keep buying petrol engine motorcycles until the technology catches up. And I saw recently Triumph have just got their prototype 3, I think it is, the third stage of the prototype electric motorcycle, which they're building as a rideable platform. And so, like, the manufacturers are onto. I know that Kawasaki have been working on electric bikes for a while. Triumph are now getting into it. You've got Harley. I know Yamaha are doing a lot of work with electric drivetrains and motors and things. So they're being very quiet on electric bike side, but I know they've got it ready to go. Honda's the same. They'll have everything ready to go. Everyone's just waiting for battery technology to catch up now, I think, and that's where we're at. All right, I think that explains where I'm at with electric motorcycles. I reckon 5 years' time before I'll be riding an electric bike, before I reckon they'll be ready. And I reckon that'll be, and by that time, you know, the pricing, drivetrains will be pretty inexpensive, batteries will be inexpensive, and you'll get a petrol engine, electric bike for the same price as a petrol bike, I reckon, in about 5 years' time. All right, that'll do for this video. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and thanks for supporting the channel, and hopefully I can see you all again in the next one. Bye for now.